to meet with him because of his work, as well as he was doing some interesting workflows on Comfy UI for architecture. So I thought I should get him on the show. So thanks a lot for being on the show.
Pleasure. And yeah, um, uh, I really like what you guys do in your company as well. And I think it's a very small community. So connecting with like minded individuals is always the greatest thing that can happen. So yeah, thanks for having me here.
I see. So Amir, for people listening to you, what are the top three highlights of your career till date?
I think studying architecture for sure is a huge highlight because I think architecture, I mean, we can nag about architecture school and, how much it sucks, but I think you can't ignore the fact that it teaches you a lot of skills. It teaches you to look at the world in a different way. You definitely are not going to be the same person when you entered and when you come out of the school. So I can definitely say architecture school changed my vision, changed my view towards the world, how I see everything, and I saw everything with a critical point of view afterwards. I started to pay attention to small things, ask questions, why this has to be this way, can we make it better? And one thing that is, I think, really, really important in architecture school is the skill of problem solving that you learn. It's like if you don't learn that in architecture school, I think that's the whole point you're missing. Um, Problem solving is the most important thing an architect can learn. I think apart from the fact that you learn, design skills, and I think at the end of the day, design is also a problem solving technique, which your tool is design. And I really, really enjoyed the fact that we had really interesting problems to solve, as like in theory at least. I remember in one of my terms, I was like diving deep into pineapple, like how pineapples grow, how long it takes for a pineapple to grow. It takes 2 years for a pineapple to grow, and what kind of condition does it have to be in order to grow? Because we were asked to choose, a fruit, and then use that fruit as like a subject and create like a structure or like a pavilion to help that fruit grow in different ways with technology, using technology. And my crop was pineapple. So basically, I was researching about pineapples for weeks and weeks, and it had nothing to do with architecture. But at the end of the semester, I was like an expert in pineapples, and what condition they have to grow in. And at the end, we figured out that okay, like pineapples take a lot of time to grow. It takes them 2 years. How can we accelerate this process? And I saw a study by a university in Russia that said um, if you put pineapples under certain laser beams, they can grow twice as fast. And I said, oh, this is amazing. We can grow pineapples maybe in 1 year. Who knows? So I designed this pavilion with lasers pointing at pineapples. And yeah, hypothetically, in theory, that should make the pineapple grow twice as fast, but I don't know. So yeah, like problem solving was very fun and interesting, I can say. And then we were exposed to real world practice afterwards, and it was like completely different to what we did in university. It was like drawing bathroom schedules, drawing tiles, and I was like, this is not what I signed up to. Like, I definitely don't want to do this for the rest of my life. Obviously, we learned so much from being in architecture practice from our colleagues and what happened in architecture practice. And yes, we did design work as well. But at the end, I was like, you know, um, narrowing down all the issues towards one final product, which is a building. Like that is your final product, a building. That is not like 90% of the times. a good answer. There is a good saying. This genius person, Chris Hildree, who won many awards for what he does in proxy address and the social sort of enterprise that he has. He's an architect turned social entrepreneur. He has a great saying that architects are like doctors who only prescribe paracetamol, like to all the problems. Like in the UK, you go to any doctor, they prescribe you paracetamol, whether you have a headache, whether your arm is, chopped off, they prescribe you paracetamol for all the problems. And architects are kind of like that. We prescribe buildings for all the problems. Like you come to me, and the only thing I give you is a building. Like that's not really logical. I think there are great ways of practicing creativity, practicing problem solving that doesn't lead to a building at the end. So I was like, okay, like many people moved from architecture to do something that does not lead to them designing a building at the end. They actually look at the problem thoroughly, and they think, how can we solve this problem in different ways? And I really like that approach. I was like, yes, I want to be a kind of person where I could, think broader than buildings and walls and doors and stuff. What if I could design an app for something? Like I could solve a problem. Again, back to Chris Hildree. He worked at Zaha. He worked at, I think, Foster's, Neil McLaughlin, all of these big name architects. But he went and did set up his own social enterprise called Proxy Address, which focuses on homelessness issue in a very creative way. Now you think an architect tackling homelessness, they probably go and build houses or shelters and things like that, which is not the case. They go and connect homeless people to unused postcodes in London, because the most important problem that they have when they become homeless is that they don't have a postcode. And when they don't have a postcode, they don't have an address, they can't apply for jobs, they can't apply for many things that help them to get back on their feet. So the first problem is that how can they get a postcode? And this guy did like a genius solution. They went and connected the unused postcodes of London with the help of London Council and Mayor of London and different boroughs to the people in need of those postcodes, and that helped them to have an address where they can apply for jobs, they can apply for benefits and whatever. And he told me like a big number. I can't remember um, what was the exact figure, but a really really big number, that in the first year of doing this social enterprise, many people actually managed to get back on their feet because they were able to apply for jobs and um, go and work again. And they came to him to thank him with their cars. Like that was the level that they got to. Like they had their cars, they were living somewhere, and it was so a very inspiring story. I was like, this is like the level of genius you can have as an architect, but just like pouring it in building design, maybe that's not what I want to do. So I was always looking for opportunities to practice beyond architecture, and I think AI gave that to me. Like AI brought so many opportunities for us as designers, architects, to be able to express ourselves in a different capacity. And I went and explored different ways that I could express myself. And from then I started to be get approached by different people that wanted to hire me for different projects, and I was like, maybe this could be a route. And there I was, like working with creative directors, marketing people, working with architecture companies as a contractor to do stuff, for a cosmetic company to design their interior in Mall of Emirates by AI. It was really fascinating. I could apply my design skills and problem solving skills in different subjects and categories. by using a very simple tool that could, get me very, very far to where I wanted to be. And now here we are. I have a co-founded a company called AI Hub. Well, we help thousands of people to educate themselves about AI, either for free, 50% of the times, or in paid capacity. And also, we help, our main kind of business is helping creative companies, whether architecture, fashion, or any company in the creative industry, to integrate AI within their workflows in their own way. So if they want to fine tune a model, if they want to design a specific AI tool that can help them do a very specific task, we are the guys. Like, we are the company that help them do this stuff privately and within their own legal framework and ethical framework. And it's a very interesting niche, and I'm very enjoying it so far. Sorry for the rant, but
No,
that's me in
man,
a nutshell.
that's amazing. Like it's like the way you said all the dots are connected to how you ended at this place. Tell us, uh, during this journey, what were the most difficult times and challenges you faced?
I think during this journey, I think when I was in uni, I was very lost at some points. And this is to say to any student watching this or listening to this, and that, if you don't know what future holds for you and you're not sure, that's okay, because you'll figure it out along the way. And I was, in your own in your footsteps, in your own shoes. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know if architecture was for me. I had many doubts, but I knew that I had something inside me that I could use in some capacity. But I didn't know for what. But this just happened, like, basically, destiny showed me the path, and I tried to be persuasive of what I wanted to do. So that's one thing. If you're an architecture student, if you're a student in general, don't feel that you should have all the answers to all of the questions in the world. Um, there's so many questions that are answered just through time, just by doing things. You get the answers. And the second thing was when I was transitioning from architecture, like from my practice, to a very different sort of world that involved technology, innovation, and there was a lot of stereotypes, stigmas um, about AI, and how it's gonna make people obsolete in the creative industry. People are gonna lose their jobs, um, and some people called it a scam, or like many things. And I was transitioning from a well-respected sort of practice of architecture to something that maybe didn't have that much of um, prestige, let's say. Let's face it. Um, and it was scary to put myself out, my face out in the world, and talk about things that I liked, because I felt like people maybe I'm the only one interested about these subjects. But the fun reality was that when I started to set up a YouTube channel to talk about the stuff that I really liked, I grew a very small, intimate group of audience. But that very small group really, really connected with me, because I don't think this niche is very big. Like, people who are interested in technology, innovation, design, architecture, entrepreneurship, like all of the, if you combine all these all together, they're not like millions of people. I don't know, maybe there are, but it's a very small niche. So um, YouTube kind of showed me that you can have a very small, intimate group of people listening to you and really, really connecting with you to very advanced levels. And to this date, I still get comments, messages, emails from people who watch my YouTube videos from 2 years ago. Like, literally, I haven't posted anything um, from 2 years ago, but I still get engagement, and people sending me stuff, asking questions, or like reaching out to say hi. I really enjoyed this video that you posted. And if you ask me, like, I think of my videos that I posted 2 years ago as like the absolute, the crappiest videos I could ever produce. Like, um, it's not even like my highest potential in creating videos. Like if I want to really be perfectionist with creating a video, I could take months. But in those days, I uploaded video every week, like week after week, talking about the stuff that I really liked. That helped me to structure my interests and point my energy towards what I saw as important, and also helped others that were in, other like-minded people to also connect with me and also come with me in a route that I was taking. And that was very interesting. So that fear of maybe uh, in acceptance from the crowd or from the general public led to me actually talking about my interests on social media in public, and actually people connecting with me in a very deep level, which was very interesting.
Got it. And from your journey after graduating uni to becoming co-founder, what are some skills you had to learn, and how did you learn it? Like, share some effective strategies or tips.
Oh yeah, many skills, many. I'm still learning a lot, like every single day. I think what is really nice about entrepreneurship and doing your own thing is that it's a school by its own. Like, probably more than me as well. Like, um, the day you start your company, like the day you decide that, okay, I wanna do this, um, that is the day of you enrolling in an entrepreneurship school that teaches you everything in the hard way. So you're not like, you didn't go to MIT, like business school, or anything like that. In fact, I have this book here which says, um, what they don't teach you at Harvard Business School. So there are
Oh,
lots of things that, these quote unquote schools really don't teach you at the end. But like, entrepreneurship journey alone, it's a very very prestigious school that you can attend to and enroll, because every single day you learn something new. For me, it was many things, like perfectionism. Like, I needed to get over my perfectionism. Nothing needed to be perfect, because if I needed everything to be perfect, then I had to invest loads of my time, or I had to invest loads of money to hire someone to do something very, in a very like finessed way. And that was just unrealistic. Like, that is not the reality of running a startup company, because startup is all about like pivoting. Like, come on, like, get something out, um, get the product out, get feedback, and pivot. Like, um, improve and every time, and see what the market really needs. And the other thing was just learning to trust my gut feeling and go for what I thought is going to be the way. And a lot of the times I was wrong. Like, maybe, I don't know, I can't say like a percentage, but like a lot of the times I can say that I was wrong, but at least I went for it. If I were to overthink it and say maybe this is the right way, maybe this is not the right way, we wouldn't have anything. Like, come on, like, we created a product in the beginning. um, First we had this idea of maybe the world needs a platform like Pinterest that only consists of AI images, because that makes um, people interested in AI their life very easy, because they can go and search for AI images, and they can see the prompt and stuff. So we developed like a really nice platform that was just like that. That was like a Pinterest, showed AI images. People could upload their work. It was very sleek, very nice. We invested money on it. We invested time on it. But when we offered this to the market didn't want it. Like, we
mhm.
instantly knew that this wasn't something that market really needed. And accepting this was the hardest thing, but we accepted it and we pivoted to what we saw the demand was from the market. Because With this product, we went to the market. Like, this was our entry to the market. Like, AI Hub was born with this idea. If we didn't have this crappy idea, AI Hub was not born. So we had this crappy idea. We took it to the market. Market proved us wrong. Said no, this is bullshit. We don't like this. Like, um, who likes this idea? And we tried to reverse engineer the next product or the next service. We thought maybe, like, what is the current demand? Like, where is the wind coming from?
Mm-hmm.
And we saw that companies are approaching us for small tasks of, training our staff. And when we went to, talk to them, we actually realized that, there is a lot of potential in the company for AI integration that they don't even know, they don't even realize. And when we offered our ideas to them that, you could do XYZ with AI, and they were like, oh, really? And we were like, yes, like, this is the opportunity that we could have. Like, we could go to all of these companies and tell them what they can achieve with AI, what opportunities they are missing, and what if they actually embrace these opportunities, and we help them to make these opportunities theirs. So we thought maybe this is the way forward, and it was like we started to work with we started to pitch the idea to a few companies, and we got really, really good feedback, and we started to negotiate deals, and we saw demand, and we still see demand. And I think the demand is still very late from the technology. It's like the discrepancy between, like, how technology is evolving in the very fast pace, um, versus the demand. They're actually very different. But the demand is showing itself after 2 years of AI really being on the news all the time, and being the most important technology of our times. But we are slowly getting the demand from the companies that they are getting um, through their sort of fears, and sort of, I don't know what their fear of.
Yeah,
They're
skepticism.
fearful of skepticism. Yeah, they're skeptical of losing jobs, or like AI taking over. I don't know, but basically we are seeing that people are getting over it, and realizing that yes, there are opportunities actually that we can grab. It's not always risks. It's not always. We can't always be fearful, because that way we can't really progress.
I see. And like for people listening, we know okay about mid journey stable diffusion. Can you like share and like open the ideas of possibilities? What are different ways AI could be integrated in workflows, like apart from just text to image? Yeah.
Yeah, I think there are loads of opportunities out there. What we do usually is we have a discovery call session, um, where we sit down with the seniors of the company, directors, seniors, and we talk about their processes, how they do things, and where they are feeling there is a waste of resource, time, and things like that. um, and in that 2 hours of conversation, we spot little niches in their practice, in their company, that we can automate with AI. We can employ AI to solve those problems for them, and that is the most exciting part of the business, because it's the problem solving thing. Like, how can we solve your problems with a innovative tool like AI? And you would be surprised how many problems we can um, find a solution for with AI. Like, literally, yes, there are like out of the shelf tools like Midjourney, and by the way, like, all of these kind of AI platforms that you see on the internet. I don't want to name them, but like, these tools that are specifically designed for architects, or like whatever, they are stable diffusion based. So the stable diffusion is like the core um, of the technology in those websites or companies, and they're just like building a interface or making like a nice user experience for people to use the stable diffusion. So you don't think that you're using a different technology, it's all one technology. um, and we do the same thing but for our clients in a different way. So we ask them what the problems are within their company, and we try to solve it via either stable diffusion based softwares like Comfy UI. So we build them workflows that do specific things like focus on people in the renders and make them super realistic. Maybe that's like one of the workflows. Or create like a upscaler that they don't have to use Kriya or any other upscaler, and they can use it for free, and it's a very good quality upscaler. We design it for them, or they need something specific, we do it for them. But I think when it comes to LLMs and what they can do, I think it's more exciting. I mean, images are always very interesting, obviously, but like the stuff that you can solve with LLMs is just mind blowing. Like we designed this tool for one of our clients that helped them to create like a cost analysis of the project before they give the project to QS, quantity surveyor. And this is not to make quantity surveyors obsolete and go bust, but we have clients that they need like an instant idea of the project costs because they want to tell the people that they're designing their houses that, hey, like this is maybe your project costs 200,000 pounds or 1 million pounds. Like this is like there's a lot of difference, so they need to know like roughly how much the project costs. So we designed a tool for one of our clients that basically takes the drawings before and after and gives them and asks a couple of questions from the architect and gives them like an instant idea of how much the costs are going to be for this project. And they can tell this to the client like straight away, say like this is going to be your project cost roughly. If you have a problem with this, let's try to use the same tool to bring the cost down, like maybe change the materials or change the scope of the work, because quantity surveyors can take long, and then with that time you can actually spend that time in implementing the feedback in the project and making the feedback and making the project work for the client's budget. And that's like a very valuable time that you can save. So that's one thing that we have been able to develop for a client, or like other tools that we are doing currently. For example, a tool that is helping with reading the planning regulations off of the plans and tell them where they're, you know, basically having problems with the local council and so many other things. But these are like non off the shelf tools that you don't see them out there. But we sit down and hear these problems that you have and try to solve it with LLMs or with text to image, text to video, or image to image, things like that. And they are hugely they can be game changing in many businesses.
Man, I loved the ideas you share because like even the it's the first time I hear like someone using this kind of workflows on quantity surveyor and like building. So do we have any other Amir's gem workflow ideas or case studies? Like I love to tinker or brainstorm. Like what are other possibilities?
Yeah, like for fashion companies, like there was a company coming to us with they were one of the largest retailers in the Europe, and they were wondering how they can use AI for their marketing aspects and also their design sort of perspective. And one of the problems that they had were, you know, copyright issues because they are a known brand, and if they wanna like publicly use AI, it's gonna be weird because like you see this uh, imaginary person wearing this dress, and you know it raises lots of questions, and you know ethical, and you know who is this, and are you like getting rid of human models or what? But actually, there are very simple solutions. I mean, I say simple, but there are like theoretically the things can be done to solve many of these problems. For example, like we told them, you know, with in terms of like ethical side of things or copyright side of things, you have a human figure like Italian girl model. You have the right to take pictures of this person. You take hundreds of images. We use those data to train an AI model that mimics her, and she has consented towards her data being used in this way. And we use this person's body and shape and her face and everything, a replica of this person, to wear the dresses that you guys design in the company. So you guys design a dress and you want this person to wear it, and you want this person to be in Saudi Arabia or like be pictured in Tuscany or whatever, wherever, like in a studio. And we can do that for you without cost. Like you don't have to travel. You don't have to take
Mm.
this person to Tuscany if you don't want to. Like we can basically take this model, AI model, put her in Tuscany, whatever background you want, with whatever like the weather you want. Imagine like doing a photo shoot in London, 90% of the time is rainy. You don't want to do that. We can show you like a sunny London in AI, but like um, that could solve your sort of ethical issue, copyright issue, and also you have a very efficient way of doing this without spending so much money on the things that maybe you shouldn't, and you can focus more on the design aspect rather than on the marketing aspect, because marketing aspect could be compressed into a very easy solution, but you can spend more money on your design, on your paying your people who make your products in whatever part of the world, to pay them fairly and things like that. But generally, there are solutions for every industry.
Got it. In anything like, what are your thoughts on what could possible ways one could use AI in Grasshopper workflows or Rhino Revit?
I think one of the greatest ones is not actually image in Grasshopper. I think like having an AI that can understand things in figures and values and play with those values in Grasshopper in the script, that could be really interesting. Like um, an AI that can, for example, build a floor plan using Grasshopper and also figure out, imagine like an end to end AI that can read the planning regulation, know the architect's brief, and can like connect these two together and play with the values and make a floor plan that actually works for the council and also works for the architect's brief as well. And the architect prompts like, maybe let's have the kitchen more spacious, and this thing goes and it plays with the values and the kitchen floor plan becomes huge. And maybe things like that, because we are always, when we think of AI, especially architects, we think of Midjourney and
Mm.
how we can make a beautiful image. I think AI has solved that problem. Like the problem of making a beautiful image is now finally solved. Not Nobody has to put so much effort in making a beautiful image. So now you can focus on design. Now you can focus on the actual problems that you're solving, and now you can focus on your materials, where you're sourcing them from. More time on the actual design rather than making like a beautiful image that can sell the project. That's now easy. Like that's the easy part now. And you can do it with any level of computers, because if you don't have a good computer, you can connect to cloud GPUs. Like that's very very cheap, efficient. You don't have to have like massive AMD GPUs. Nothing against like AMD GPUs are great. I'm affiliated with them, so. But yeah, if you want, like, if you don't want to buy a huge laptop or like invest in the workstation, just rent a GPU for 50 pence an hour, and that can handle all of your work. So yeah.
I see. In as a founder, when you were building products, What were some ideas you had in your mind and you didn't pursue?
We still have many ideas, but Uh, the thing is that when you become a company owner, like your time is so much drained in the stuff that you don't want, and you want to
Yes.
ultimately like outsource these tasks. Um, but that's the secondary problem. But basically, you have to do so many. You have to go to so many meetings. You have to answer so many emails. You have to do so many things that basically take a lot of your time, and you get very sort of you get a little time for yourself to actually build a product or think about a product. But we have many ideas that we want to kind of publicize at the end of the day, because I think we are building some great products for our clients, but at some point we want to publicize some of these because we think the world need them. um, but we still don't know when and which of these tools. But we're certain that some of these should be publicized and it's going to be hugely successful. um, but the energy that goes towards publicly um, developing something and putting putting it out there for everyone to use, and managing the demand, managing the traffic, um, that's like the problem we don't really want to deal with
Mm,
currently, because like we have stuff to deal with, and enough stuff to deal with currently. But at some point we would love to publicize many of these products, and I'm sure especially people in architecture, fashion, people would love them. And I'm very hopeful that we can develop even better ideas and build amazing teams that can develop these ideas. But this is, yeah, this is a dream. So working towards this dream currently and hoping that one day could come that we see all of these products in one page and many people
nice.
using it.
AI hub marketplace with a lot of these tools.
Yeah,
And
that's cool. Yeah, marketplace could be good.
yeah, cool. So, from your observation, let's say the from how you see the startups building in AI architecture construction space, what are some common patterns do you find? Are there areas where it's very saturated? Are there areas where there's still opportunity for founders to build products?
I think there are lots of avenues. I think people um I think conversation is very important. Like um I would I would urge all the founders in the AI that are somehow dealing with architects or architecture as well, I think they gotta go and ask people what they need. Like they gotta go and talk to people, to business owners, architecture practices, to architectural assistants like interns, people in the architecture company. If they're developing something for architects, you gotta go and talk to them and see, where they want the automation to happen, where they want AI to help. I think we make many assumptions that many of them are not true. People go invest a lot of money, a lot of their time, a lot of their resources um, to build a product that at the end of the day nobody wants to use. So what's the point if you could spend all of that energy, all of that money on something that someone actually wants to use? So why not actually going and talking to people, figuring out what the problem is, rather than making assumptions that maybe like 90% of the times are not going to be true. And as architects we are very obsessed with like visuals and the blingy side of things. But I think there is a lot of opportunity to be captured in the mundane things that people don't talk about. Like we all have we are all tired of um, drawing bathroom details, or like schedules, door schedules, things like that. If you can automate a lot of those things for people, people are actually going to appreciate it a lot, because they can spend time more on design. And that should be the final goal for all the AI developers, like giving human designers more time to think about design and doing the mundane tasks automating the mundane task for them so that they don't have to do that anymore, but focus on sustainability, focusing on problem solving, focusing on the actual design. I think that should be the ultimate goal. But I see many architects just being the end users currently. Like they
Mm,
just want to be the person behind Midjourney producing the image, which is cool, which is great. But I think there is a lot of intellect to be used in solving some problems, especially in this age that AI is very new to these arenas. We didn't have AI massively integrated in the creative industry as such, but now I think in 20 years time you're going to remember 2022, 2023, 2024 as years that there were loads of opportunities. You're going to see companies in 20 years time that you're like, these companies started to appear in those early days,
mm.
and nobody knew these are going to be as big as Google, or like as big as many big companies in the world. So use these times.
The next Autodesk is being built right now.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I see. Man, what are the activities that gives you flow state? You lose track of time, you enjoy the most, gives you satisfaction.
Yeah, I saw this reel on the in my Explore Instagram. It was like a millionaire or whatever. Like this guy was talking about, yeah, like I had problems in my life. I was getting divorced, I had financial problems, and I had little money. I was thinking, what should I do? And I went and started to learn how to ride a helicopter. I was like, how are they connected? But he made a really interesting point. He said, um, when you have problems and issues that are like draining your energy and time, you have to go do something that is completely different, like something
Mm,
that doesn't have anything to do with your problems, because then you can actually go and be in the flow state, to actually think properly of the problems that you have, or just be free for some time and don't think of your problems. I think everybody needs something very different. For me, is actually flying as well, ironically.
really? I thought I didn't see this coming. Okay.
Yeah, so for me, like I've started to do my private pilot license classes from 2 3 months ago. So I'm officially in the process of becoming a private pilot, and I really love it. And I fly, for those who are interested, I fly Cessna like 172 or like 152, and it's like a very basic one engine plane. Like there's not lot of technology in it. Like it's very simple gauges, and nothing so technological. Y- It looks like you're flying a car from like 1970s, something like that. Somehow miraculously you're surviving. You're in the air, and when you're up there and you look at the gauges, and you see, you know you see the bottom, you see the earth, people, the cars, and you're like, I'm literally up here with the simplest technology. I maybe say simplest technology, but like it's a very complicated system. But still, like nothing like a Tesla or anything like
Yeah.
that. It's a very simple plane. If you do this, your plane, moves, and it's really fascinating. And you're like, you know, if I do something wrong, I can literally go down and crash and die. Like that's like 2 minutes. And you're focusing first on enjoying yourself, um,
The view.
being, yeah, the view, and enjoying just being, just flying. The feeling of flying is very strong, that it actually, I don't know, it does something to you. And then secondly, you're going to focus on what you have to do as a pilot. You have to keep yourself and your passengers alive. Like I take sometimes my mom, sometimes my friends, and I gotta to return them alive to their place again. So okay, like I have to concentrate on what I have to do. And when you do something that you have to literally concentrate, you have to concentrate,
Mm.
then you're like you automatically go in Zen mode, like you're
Yes.
focused. I also have two cats, and when I pet them, like when I'm like playing with them or whatever, that is also my Zen mode as well. Like I'm focusing my 100% of focus on these two creatures, that they're always needy of food, water, and they poop on the floor and they make a mess. And I could have the most important meeting, but this guy poops on the floor, so I have to go and you know um, clean up. uh, it's focus again. Like I'm focusing on something very profound that keeps me in that state for a while, and then I can go back to my work, I can do whatever. But I really miss um, the days that I fly, when I'm not flying, or when I'm away from my pets. I really miss them, because those moments give me my 100% of
Mm.
focus, and I can literally be in another world until I get teleported again to the reality.
And
Maybe this was not the answer you expected.
no, that's answers like this are like gives you an interesting perspective. Yeah, like it reminded me of the book like The Power of Now, where you like
Yeah.
your activity and thoughts are completely aligned. Yeah, that's cool, man. And you showed a book earlier. Give me an impression you are a book reader. So, what are some other books in your collection and anything which made a big impact?
Yeah, I mean, um, there are many books that have changed my life and my business for sure. I can talk about like you know philosophy books and novels and stuff, but I think as an entrepreneur, we have to dive into reality, and reality sometimes it could be very harsh, and we have to be reading some practical stuff that really helps us to educate ourselves on what successful people do and what track record of these people show. And there is a condensed version of their life out there on the shelves that you can actually grab and read and learn from and put in practice literally today. Like in the next hour you can actually read something and put it in practice, and that can turn your life completely, and to point you towards the right direction. There were really really good books that I read from Alex Hormozy, for example.
100
um,
million offers.
both of them, like 100
Yeah.
million offers and 100 million dollar leads. These are available on audio book, as I mean they're available in his podcast as well for free. Like you can
Yes.
literally go and listen to them. I listened to all of the books while I was working out in the gym. Basically, I was listening to what he was saying, and I was replaying the lessons 2 3 times so that I make sure that I really understand what he means, and also that gave me time to think about how I can implement this in my work. And when I read 100 million offers, I completely changed the way we do our offers, we package our offers, and that led to almost, I think, literally 100% conversion rate, which is like the biggest thing you can literally get. Whenever we go to a sales call with a client, I'm 100% confident that we can get that client, because the offer that we craft, we sit down and create that offer for hours and hours before I meet the client, because I know their insecurities, I know what we can help with, and I know our value, and I know their struggles as well. So I sit down, I make an offer that they cannot say no to, or in another world, and in another word that Alex Hormozy put it, make people offers that they feel stupid to say no to. Like that is the idea when I create an offer. I feel that I engineer the offer in a way that um, I ask myself, if I were on the other side of the table, would I literally think I'm stupid if I don't take this
Mm.
opportunity? If my answer is no, I would still go and work on this offer. And how you do it towards basically with many tools that you have. For example, you can give them assurance that if something went wrong, we're not going to take your money. Like
Mm,
uh, your money, especially in the AI world. Things are very new. They are developing very on a very fast pace. So we always give our clients the assurance that if this tool that we developed didn't work out for you, a new technology came and this obsoleted this kind of practice, we're not going to take that chunk of money that is for this tool. And we literally don't. Like if a client comes and tells us like, hey, like we're not happy with this, we will refund them no matter that, because that's the most important thing we want as a business, that we help the client, not just to take their money and run away. That's not the goal. The goal is to actually how we can help them with AI. If the AI thing is not really helping them, then we don't want their money. We want to be helping them in any way possible. And I want that to be in the package that they read, that they go through this package and see that there is value, value, value. And if they don't take these offers, they're going to lose all of these values, and they're not going to risk anything, and they're going to risk losing them. They
mm,
can literally not lose them by taking them and later say we didn't like them, because we can refund them always. But they will, they can decide to walk away and take this huge risk of not being able to grab all of these opportunities to save a lot of money, save a lot of resources, to build cooler projects, um, get better clients. They lose on all of that stuff, um, and they can walk away. So I always think how I can create this offer in a way that the other side of table, the person feels it's stupid to say no to my offer. And I always give them choices. Like I don't go and tell them like this is the figure, this is the offer, like yes or no, take it or leave it. I always give them a comparison between different offers to tell them, hey, we can do like a medium tier offer, we can do like a small tier offer, and the small tier offer doesn't have this and that. Like you're losing on this stuff, but if you get those stuff, you can have the full offer with this value. And then they realize why the number is so high for the final offer. If I were to give them like one offer and say like this is my offer and the number is very high, they're not going to understand why that number is very high, because they don't have anything to compare it with. But when I
mm,
give them something to compare it with, they understand, okay, I'm paying a lot for this because I'm getting these values from this offer. And then it makes sense. Suddenly it makes sense. So I think Alex Hormozy books are very, very helpful. I got introduced to this guy called Daniel Priestley that has a few books. One of them is called The Person of Influence, The Key Person of Influence. And the other one is, can't remember the name of the other one, which is about, oh, Oversubscribed. So Oversubscribed is another book which is super, super um, needed for all of the entrepreneurs to make your to figure out this strategy to make your business oversold, because only oversold or oversubscribed businesses can make good money. Other businesses are always struggling. If you're not oversubscribed, you're not reaching your potential yet. You can't get oversubscribed by figuring out a few logics and packaging your offers in a different way. And that's why you see some people lining up at some shops to get something very simple, and some other shops that they are offering the same thing. You don't see anyone walking into their shops because they're not utilizing those ideas um, to make their businesses oversubscribed. And in fact, they have to always be on sale. They have to always be discounted to attract people, and that's not the way. You want people to line up for your products. You want people to say, you want you want to say to your client that I give you $1,000, pounds, whatever, to give your place to this other client, to walk away from money, to even um, say no to your clients, to fire your clients if they're not suitable for your type of business, for your way of practicing, whatever. Don't be afraid of that. So I think Oversubscribed is an amazing book. The Key Person of Influence is, I'm about to read that one. So I would definitely suggest having a look at that one too, because the idea of that one is, in today's age, um, you you need to be a key person of influence so that you can develop a personal brand and sell the things that you want to sell, and how to do this, and what are the best ways to do this, because he's a coach for multi-million um, sort of business owners and people who have millions of followers online. So he knows how these people are, creating influence, and also how they are using that influence to build businesses as well. So I think that should be a great book as well.
Damn, you got me fired. Because like honestly, I could connect. I was about to show the book, but it's a bit far away. Oh, 100 million offers, and like also the story. Like we started with the product. We also have AI consultancies. I'm like connecting on a lot of multiple levels. All right, for people listening interested in AI space, what are some resources which you listen, people you follow, podcasts you listen to keep up to date with AI?
Um, Honestly, like, I follow people I like on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube to learn from. Um, I don't listen to AI podcast. I listen more to podcasts about business, philosophy, literature. Um, Sometimes I need to like walk away from business and stuff, so I have to like listen to something uh, bit different. But it's very niche. I can't remember the names, but there are people on, because as a kind of AI developer, we need to be on top of our games to be able to say, okay, this is a new technology. We have to, jump onto it very fast, and we have to do this and that. There are very very niche people on Twitter that are nerdy, and they publish stuff that nobody actually seen, and they only get 2 3 likes, and nobody realizes them at all. But I kind of go and follow these people to know, okay, what is the things that nerds are developing, like geeks. What are the most updated things that in the AI field people are developing, and I instantly see them, and I'm always blown away by like what these people do. Again, like, I can't really, it's not that I don't want to share, I can't think of their names, because you know how these people name themselves, like, they're very strange, they're not even their real names. It's like XYZ, whatever. It's like Elon
Nerdy
Musk's
rodent.
sons.
I see. Cool,
Yeah,
cool, cool.
but
No, sorry. Finish your point, please.
no, I think that I don't have anything to say.
I see. So I'll wrap up the interview with a rapid fire. You have 5 to 10 seconds, and if you have time, or we could, if you have two
No,
minutes,
no, yeah, yeah,
okay.
sure.
5 to 10 seconds. You got to keep your answer super brief. All right. First one is, who's your role model?
My role model, ah, my dad. I really love my dad.
Your favorite architecture building?
Fun Palace, Cedric Price, that never got to be existed.
I see. A city which is in your travel bucket list?
Tokyo.
Your favorite movie?
Her.
A book which made a big impact in your life?
Um, Architects out of architecture.
I see. Your favorite thing to do on Sunday?
Flying.
I knew that coming. Uh, what would be your piece of advice to your younger self?
Just chill, like um, trust your gut feeling, do whatever you want, and share with the world what you're interested in, connect with people, talk about what you like, and people would appreciate what you do. And also, you get um, friends who are like minded, who like what you do, and you also find people that appreciate you and also are great companions. They add value to you, and listen to people who know you really well, because sometimes you think you know yourself very well, but there are people around yourself that have been with you for years and years, and when they see things, sometimes you don't see them. And I always, I really really appreciate a comment that the closest people in my life tell me, because I know they're seeing things that I don't see myself. And sometimes they tell me like I can do more, I can be, I can do stuff that I don't think I can do. Sometimes they tell me, no, maybe this is not for you. And I always listen, because I know that there is something that I don't see, but my gut feeling says that they're right.
Mm. Three words your friend would describe you.
Unpredictable, um, hopefully kind, and also uh, fun to go out with, I hope.
I see. Lastly, is there anything which we didn't cover in this interview and you would like to end on that note?
Oh yeah, I love to ask all of these questions from you. So if you have to have another session where I am the interviewer and you're the interviewee, and I get to ask you all of these questions.
Yeah, I'm down. Yeah, we are both in the AI, AEC, architecture tech space with founders. So it will be fun.
Yeah,
Cool, man.
yeah,
Amir, it was lovely hosting you. You're very
pleasure,
honest, humble stories people can connect to. So I appreciate your time for doing this.
pleasure. Thanks